Hi everyone and welcome to my booktube channel. I'm C1 and I love to read. Today's very short video is just going to be a little reading wrap up for February. I found myself in a reading slump probably because everything was happening in real life and I just couldn't muster the focus. I only read 4 books, but some of them were not bad. Some of them were quite enjoyable. We're going to start with the 2 that were not as great. They are the first 2 in the Twisted series, Twisted Love and Twisted Games by Ana Huang. So Twisted Love, I rated 3 stars. I think it really deserves lower than that, but like I didn't have any big objections to it. I just didn't really like it that much. And I would recommend it. Like, I can see why people go crazy over these books, but personally, at least this one, just wasn't for me. I really didn't like the male main character. I thought that he was just I don't know. I don't like the whole he's an asshole to everyone except her kind of thing. I find it really, off-putting. So I wasn't a huge fan of the MMC. The female MC was sweet. She was bright and bubbly despite trauma in her past, and she was very endearing and charismatic to me. So I did really like her, and that just made me wonder even more, why is she going for this guy? What does she see in him? There was also just a lot happening plot-wise. Alex, the MMC, he's been pretending to be Josh's best friend for 8 years in this slow long con to try and get back at the guy who he thinks murdered his family, which is Josh's father. And Josh tells Alex, look out for my little sister, Ava, who's our female MC. And Alex is like, yeah, fine, whatever, I'll do that. And he takes it very seriously, weirdly seriously. As in he moves into the house next door to Ava. It's a lot. And he falls in love with Ava and he discovers she has this trauma in her past too, where she thinks her mother tried to kill her. But then it comes out that it wasn't her mother who tried to kill her, it was actually her father, and he tried multiple times because he's not really her father. Also, her father and Josh's father didn't actually kill Alex's family. That was Alex's uncle. And then Alex's uncle has Ava and her friend kidnapped as leverage over Alex, and there's so much going on plot wise, to the point where I might say a little bit too much plot. And I'm not one to be oh, the plot is interfering with the romance. But with all that plot and the romance, it's a little much. It's a little bit much. I felt a little overwhelmed and I'm having trouble following this. I was listening to it on audiobook, granted, so I was not giving it my entire undivided attention. But yeah, I found the plot a little bit convoluted and crazy to follow. The second book, Twisted Games, I actually liked more. I gave it a 3.5. And I thought the MMC in this one was really sweet. I love guys with a vulnerable side. He still had that big kind of macho protective sort of thing going on, but he was less off-putting with it than the MMC in Twisted Love. The FMC was really fun. She was snarky. She was smart. She was really compassionate. She ends up in a position of power that she doesn't want, but she uses it to the best of her ability for good. And I think I found her really sweet and smart and funny, and I really liked their romance. Again, a lot going on, and I found that a little bit overwhelming. So yeah, these weren't my favorite books, but I would recommend them. I would say you'll probably have a good time especially if you're really into the kind of darker romance. and guys who are more like macho man, tough, will tear down the world, that kind of thing. Personally, I like really sweet, sensitive, nerdy guys, probably because I'm dating a sweet, sensitive, nerdy guy myself. But yeah, these books were fun. They weren't bad. The next book I read is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. This is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series, and I really enjoyed it. I rated it 5 stars. I thought that this was just like everything about it was perfect. The pacing, the character arcs, the way that the story all comes together, it was amazing. And I finished this book and I was like, first of all, would kill to read that book again for the first time. Second of all, how are there 3 more books? Like what's going to happen? Like I understand the way that the main subplot works within the overarching plot of the series, but like what's going to happen? What else can possibly happen? It's so good. I loved it so much. I just devoured it. And yeah, I love everything about it. And my last book that I read in February is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. This is the first book in her Bright Falls series. I loved this. I rated it 5 stars, and I rarely rate romance 5 stars. My only complaint about it is the third act breakup. It's not my favorite trope. But other than the third act breakup, I love this book. There's only one bed scene. It's small town romance. It's sapphic, which we all need more LGBTQ in our lives, especially queer babies like me. And this is such a petty small detail, but I love that the cover art perfectly matches the character descriptions. If you're looking for a queer romance with a lot of heart, a lot of smiles, maybe some tears, and just really good gay panic moments, then this is the book for you. And actually, as I'm filming this, it's the beginning of March now. And I have read the second one in the series, and I like it even more. So stay tuned for that review. So that's it for today's brief and terrible reviews. I know this was a really short one, but again, I didn't really read a lot this month. I was so overwhelmed with real life. But stay tuned for more videos. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Please follow. And if you're returning, thanks for sticking with me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.